good. Let's do it. Good morning, everybody. It's glad to see everybody here today. Appreciate everybody coming out. This time I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, call the roll, please.
Master Combs.
Here.
Master
Here.
Barger. Master Tudor. Master Botkin.
Present.
Just Taylor.
Here. We have a special group with us today, and it's so glad that these boys and girls have come out, and they're going to help us in leading us in the pledge today. This is the first grade class and kindergarten class from the Growing Place. Is that correct? Is that right? Can I see some heads nod? Yeah. Yeah. So if you all will, stand up and lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 50 stars, shining on a field of blue, red and white, stripes so bright, this is our country's flag.
Good, you're gonna have to remember that.
Yeah, that was great. I love it. Would you?
Teach that song to the sheriff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. All right. This time, Roger, if you will, lead us in a prayer.
Bow our heads. Father, as we come together as a government body, we ask for your guidance and direction in all the things that we do here today. Father, we ask for your blessings upon the ones that are here as well as across our county. Father, we thank you and we love you, and we ask all this in the precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Roger. Guys, y'all have had a chance to look over your minutes from the previous meeting. This time I need a motion and a second to approve those.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Just Taylor.
Yes. Glenna, good morning.
Good morning. Well, we finished our fiscal year, and the report that I handed out to you, I went ahead and gave it to you in a paper form, so you'll have it, you can keep it. It's how we finished the fiscal year 16-17. As of June 30th, 2017, we had a balance of $7,052,614.57. Now, how we ended up on our revenues and expenditures for the year, general fund revenues, we were at 91.93%. Expenditures, we were at 71.16%. Road fund on revenues, we were at 83.62%. Our expenditures were at 74.77%. Our jail fund revenues were at 101.14%. Our expenditures were at 96%. Our LGA fund revenues were at 107.83%. Our expenditures were at 51.17%. Our CSEP fund, our revenues were at 13.72%, and our expenditures were at 12.53%. Our 911 fund, our revenues were at 118.97%, and our expenditures were at 83.19%. So as you can see, we went over in several on our revenues, which was great. Our expenditures, the highest one was 96% with the jail. Everyone else stayed very moderate. General fund being at 71, road being at 74%. Every year when we do our new budget, we have to budget what we think we're gonna carry over from the previous year in cash, and carry over from prior year in your new budget is always whatever cash is sitting in your checking account on June 30th. So on the general fund, we had budgeted in this new 17-18 budget $5 million. At the end of this year, we actually had $5,568,286.49. So we had a surplus of $568,286.49. We will be able to budget amend that in whenever we want to in this year. Road fund, we had budgeted to have $175,000 carryover. We actually ended up with $377,098.70. We have a surplus of $202,098.70. Our jail fund, we had budgeted to have 50,000 carryover. We actually had 158,377.64. So we have a surplus of 108,377.64. CSEP fund, we had budgeted carryover of $345,343. We actually had a $382,855.06 and a $37,512.06. 911 fund, we had budgeted a carryover of $400,000. We actually ended up with $645,584.44. Surplus of $245,584.44. So all of our funds, with our budgeting from last year, did well. Our receipts were up, our expenditures were low, and we all had surplus carryovers.
That's great. That's good. That's all that total about a little over $1 million.
$1,161,859.33.
That's good. Good. Guys, y'all have any questions on the financial report?
And you can call anytime. I mean, this is just the time that I hand this report out, but you can call anytime you have any questions about any of it.
The coal impact, of course, I know we
Mhm.
just budgeted 5,000. When do they pay that, or how often?
They pay that quarterly, and it is, we used to get coal severance and mineral severance tax. Now we only get mineral severance tax. It fluctuates all the time, how those formulas are done. But we ended up bringing in a little bit more than we had budgeted last year. We
They
brought
combine
in,
those two?
they're separate, but they could both go in the LGA fund.
We probably do, if we even got anything.
We didn't
coal.
get anything on coal at all.
Yeah, it was little, if we got anything.
And I don't know how exactly they track that. Sometimes it'll change. One quarter you'll get some, one quarter you won't. It's a formula they have, I guess, on how much coal moves through your county. We
Wow.
used to get some a long time ago, but in the last 2 years we haven't gotten any coal.
Used to be the amount of coal transportation through the
Yes.
county now.
With all the
Changed.
coal mines that shut down, I'd say we don't have
Let's
any
travel.
they can transport to us anymore.
Well, that probably wouldn't be by rail anyway, it'd probably be on the road, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah, our biggest there is the mineral,
Yeah.
That's where we get the
It's
biggest bulk of-
115,000.
biggest bulk of our money.
Yeah. Well, we actually got 164,000.
Yeah.
We only budgeted 115.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just a question. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Glenn, appreciate it.
And thank you for the printout here.
You're welcome.
Guys, first order of business today is I need to amend the agenda. So at this time, it's for the airport, an airport grant. So at this time, I need a motion second to amend the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Berger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. So if we will, Dr. Walker's here.
Yes, Graham.
So we're gonna talk about an airport grant today.
Yes, I'll be happy to tell you.
If you will, come up to the mic, please.
Don't be bashful, man.
Oh, I've never been known to be. But this is it really doesn't cost you anything. It's just a matter of I need your signature because it's a grant agreement with the FAA because we need to do an environmental assessment at the airport. And they have decided that we need a full assessment for the entirety of our Phase 2 development. The grant from FAA is $85,162. And as I said, you are not on the line for anything. The airport board will match that at 2.5% and the state at 7.5%. So we have $90-some thousand for an environmental assessment. So,
Okay,
and I
and,
need yours and the attorney's signatures. So
okay, do you have the grant?
I do.
Okay.
I have it with me for your signature.
Yeah, if you don't
want it
mind,
down?
let me see it, please.
Okay. Just hand me that folder.
Is this something that you all had applied for sometime back?
It would be a part of the airport gets entitlement funds of $150,000 a year. We keep adding to them and so forth. And it's a part of what would be there. We did ask FAA for the monies, and we will eventually get more. They've even given us another 500,000 besides what we already have at 450 for entitlement. So it's just a part of this overall expansion that we want to do for phase 2 of the airport. And it was a little bit of a surprise because we did phase 1, we did not have to do an entire environmental assessment. They decided we needed to do one this time for the entirety of what will be phase 2, which includes apron expansion, hangar expansion, terminal, etc. So, pass that down. The top one is actually the letter sent to me, and then the grant, if you turn it to where the second paper clip is, there's 2 of them. Yeah. That's the one that you'll see 5 pages for your signature. The one other thing, while I have the microphone, that I would like to mention, since I see there was a surplus for roads, that we actually need to have the airport road straightened so that we can continue with phase 2 of the airport for the terminal. We need more space, and I don't know if you all are familiar with the fact that it kind of angles in toward the apron, and it's just a short distance, but it does need to be straightened. Hopefully you could do that.
That's where you turn in off John Ballard Road or come in?
No, it's right in front of the airport.
Okay.
You know, if you come onto Airport Road, going to the airport, when you get there, it comes to kind of a point. You have to stop and you turn left, and it needs to be straight, having to do with the ingress to the terminal once we have it. We can't go forward with the final plans for that until we know that the road can be straightened.
Well, that's a very short distance.
Yes, it is. That's the reason I'm hoping that you all will see fit to straighten it for us.
Mark, is this something that require a vote?
It has not. I do have both the Richmond and Berea signature.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen it. So.
Well, I've not seen it either, but typically before you were able to sign anything, you need court approval. If it's something that's coming in, it's not gonna cost the county any money, the county's not on the hook for any of this, and benefit the board, I would assume the court wished to approve it, but now I've not looked at it either.
Yeah, I mean, I can't read it out here.
The money's not gonna flow through the county.
No money flowing through the county, through the airport only.
So what's the reason they need my signature, I guess, you know?
All 3 governments own the airport.
Oh, well,
So it
do
needs all 3. It
all
wasn't
3.
just, it's not just you, it's Richmond, and I have both Richmond and Berea signatures at this point.
Did they vote on it as well?
No, they did not. They just had the attorney approve it after the mayor signed, so.
What area, your environmental assessment, what area does that cover? Is that inside the fences of the airport?
Yes.
How far does that expand?
Yeah, it would be the area that we're hoping to expand for phase 2, which includes, if you're familiar with the airport and you know where the T hangars are, where there's more space in there that we want more T hangars. And then for the other, to the left of where we have the main hangars now, there's more space, where the terminal building would be.
So it's just for the expansion area?
Yeah, for the expansion area.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's never been one for the expansion, I mean, just the other part.
Yeah, we did one, but it was a more minor one for the phase 1, which was apron expansion where the old parking lot was. But they wanted more environmental work for this one, so it cost more. We were not happy to see the cost, but.
Well, I'd move we approve, it's not gonna cost us anything, and it's just
Right.
money for you all.
That's right, it does not cost you anything. We'll be back later for what.
Yeah.
For the
Willie, I
cost.
saw markers out on the road, where the curve looked like where it would be taken out at. Did we make that, did we put those markers up?
Yes, we did.
So we're looking at getting it straightened, the road?
We're looking at it. It was just, it came with a $66,000 price tag.
Okay, well, I tell you what, we're just about to get signage for the interstate saying that we have a general aviation airport. It comes with a little price tag as well, but we've been trying to get that for some time because nobody knows where the airport is, or that's not quite true, but there's an awful lot of people who say, oh, we have an airport? Yes, we do. And so there will be signage on the interstate, southbound on 83 and northbound on 77. And then we have trailblazing signs if they can stay in place.
Good luck.
We would like to, I asked them if they were going to set them in concrete, and they said no. And I thought, well, maybe I could come back to you all and ask for some money to set them in concrete, because they seem to disappear, the trailblazing ones. So, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. So you made a motion?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And what, the motion was to allow me to sign this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, call the roll.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes, thanks, Dr. Walker. Appreciate it.
I'll review it after court, and then Franstad or Colin will call you, let you know when it's ready.
Okay. Okay, I need an ASAP, because it
I
must
won't be able to sign something without looking at it though, so I'll look at it just as soon as court's over, and then I'll, yes.
That will be fine. I can hang around for it if you can look at it.
Next on the agenda is to reappoint a member to the Southern Madison Water Board, and I would like to recommend to the court that we reappoint Larry Todd to the Southern Madison Water Board.
So moved.
Second?
No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Judge, you know, I go to some of their meetings. I don't go to all of them, but I want to compliment the three people we do have on there. They're very aggressive, and they're buying a lot of these meters now that saves them money. They don't have to go read it. It automatically reads them. I guess it's like the electric company, but they're doing a good job, and they do have a surplus.
Yeah, they do, man. They're good financial
They
stewards.
sure are.
Yeah, they are. Yep. So appreciate that, Larry. Next, guys, I just want to talk a little bit about this inmate work program discussion. Obviously, we've talked about it several times in the past. Last year, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but last year the state changed the terms of our agreement that we've always have had. I was trying to work with them and trying to make it less costly to the county. The state has to have it their way. I did work with them in the last couple of weeks about getting the agreement. Since working on this, Doug has started an inmate work program after we had inmates that were working in solid waste and at the ferry that were pulled, and so my concern about having an agreement with the state is that we don't have enough inmates. And I don't see Doug here today. Oh, you're here for Doug, okay. And so I don't really know where to go now. I don't know, I'm willing to start back on the inmate work program with the state, but when I talk to Doug, and maybe Greg, if you want to come on up to the mic, you can. You might have some information that I don't know about.
I'll answer any questions that you want.
But Doug couldn't tell me Friday that he couldn't guarantee me that we would have enough inmates to work the state program. Well, this state program is going to require us to hire a deputy to oversee the inmates while they're out, and they're actually working under, really, I guess, Brandon McIntosh's direction as far as what roads they're going to, state roads, and where they're weed eating or where they're picking up trash, whatever they're doing. And I'm concerned we won't have enough inmates. We don't have them in recycle. We don't have them at the ferry. I think y'all have been working some on Doug's crew.
We have 4 that are out working roads right now.
Yeah. And so I can't sign an agreement with the state to start this inmate program if I can't be guaranteed that we
Do
would
they
have.
ask for a set number, the state?
The minimum is, you're supposed to have 5 to a crew with the state. It's 5 per deputy. Of course, we had 2 programs. We had 2, but then the state cut some budget, so it went down to 1. He said that they will get by. They understand if some things come up on a day-to-day basis where maybe there's only 3 available to go out or whatever. They understand that, but you can't have like 2 or 3 multiple days in a row. And then there's some stipulations in here that, you know, they have to at least work at least 4 hours to be credited for a full day. And they won't pay reimburse the county if they're not working. And I figured up if just rough numbers, if a deputy didn't work 30 days out of the year, it would be a potential cost to us of about $6,000 a year. If they,
Judge, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's all right.
My understanding was when we approved for Doug to hire 3 more, that he was gonna use one of those as the person taking them out.
And we are, on the crew that Doug has, we
Yeah.
are using.
Well, that's what I understood, and I said, well, there'd be no
Well,
extra cost.
not specifically those, we're using.
But his
people at the jail.
program's not the state program.
Yeah, that is.
No, I know, I understand.
Yeah. So what is I mean, is there deputies, I mean, is there inmates?
Well, I brought some numbers over with me just so you all could see what we're dealing with there. Right now, I have 54 state inmates in-house. 22 of those state inmates are controlled intakes or people that had just been sentenced. They haven't been meddled or anything. I've got 13 Class D inmates, but only 1 of them are level to go out to work. And 14 parole violators who can't go out because they're parole violators. What we're using for our program is child support inmates. I have 21 of those, and 9 of those are out working. The rest of them have other charges where they can't go out to work. So that's where we end up. Right now, we have 372 people in jail here, 390 something altogether. At some point, we're going to get back up to the point where we can't house all these people safely. The state inmates are going to go. That's why I think that's what Doug was telling you the other day. That's pretty much the only option we have at that point.
So the only ones that can work, well, if you sign that contract, I guess the only ones that can work would be state inmates, correct?
No, I don't think there's a requirement in this contract for it being state. I think they just have
don't
to
know.
be
I
classified.
haven't seen the contract. I don't know what's in that.
I think you
But
can be
I
a
know
county inmate or state inmate. It's just
the-
gotta be a certain
the other-
class.
When we were doing it before, it was either or. We had some state and some county.
And it's still that's still same. It doesn't make, they don't have to be a state inmate to work in a program. I guess they just have to have a certain classification in order to work, and you're saying that you don't really have enough that have that
No, I mean,
classification.
with the state inmates, the state actually classifies them whether they can work or not. And for them to be able to work in that program, they have to be a Class D inmate with a level 1 or level 2. Well, almost everybody Class D inmates that I have right now are level 3, which means they cannot go out and work. They can work inside the facility, but they cannot go out into the community and work.
Who classifies county inmates?
Well, that varies. Child supporters, as long as they don't have any other charges that go along with it, we kind of have an agreement with the county attorney's office that we can take them out to work. That kind of helps their time along. Sentence county inmates, normally we ask before we take them out if they're good with it, if it's nonviolent. There's not really a classification for that, other than asking, hey, we need these people. The Simmons County inmates can actually get credit for that, so we try and use them. We don't have a whole lot of them. The child support inmates actually don't get anything toward it. It's just a thing for them to be able to get out and help the community.
Okay. So of all those, of 372, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So of 372 right now, you don't have very many that,
No, I have 21 child supporters. I didn't look at the Simmons County inmates. I think I had like 2 or 3 of those, and one of those is out working.
but you said only the child supporters, only 9 of those could.
Only 9 of those can go out because all the other ones have other charges with it.
Mhm.
Say they got arrested for something else, and in the process they found child support.
But if you have 9 there that could go out and work, and then of the Class Ds you had some, right?
Yes, but the nine that I got out working, I've got, there's 4 of those are on our crew out working, and the other ones are in our trustee area working.
Oh,
inside the
okay,
jail.
so you're counting. So if you had 5 on the state crew, and you had 4 on the jail's inmate trash cleanup crew, that's 9. We need roughly 2 at solid waste, and you need 1 at the ferry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's 12 inmates on a daily basis. Well, plus your, how many trustees do you need?
That number would be different from the actual go out and work program. We have,
Oh, so you can have some that maybe can be a trustee inside the jail.
that is correct.
That are, okay.
According to their charges and what they're classified as.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not gonna put violent people out on trust.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, yeah.
The fact still remains, like what Doug told you on Friday, you know, I can't guarantee, or he can't guarantee at any time whether or not we'll have 12 people to go out to work. These CIs, or the controlled intakes that come in, they may classify their level 1 to go out to work, and the state says, well, you're all 225% over. We're taking these inmates and sending them somewhere else, because they normally will not take the ones that can't work. They'll take the ones that can work.
Mhm. And they pulled some of those
They
already.
did, they absolutely did.
Mhm.
That's what happened pretty much with the program.
How many did they pull?
I wanna say it was like 13 or something like that, and every one of them was Class D level 1s that could go out to work, was Scott's program and the ferry and all that. They told us they had to go. We
Yeah.
didn't have any choice in that matter at
Yeah.
the time.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we can't sign an agreement, and I think all of our programs are important. You know, one's not more important than the other. You know, our solid waste recycling program is great. I mean, how many people uses the ferry? On
300 some cars a day.
You know, so I don't know, guys. I brought this up for discussion. Is the reason I wanted to.
You know, the worker that I had at the ferry, they would call me, the jail, kind enough that they would call me sometimes and say, he's not going out tomorrow. You know, and you're not gonna have an inmate. That's fine. You've got to call ahead of time. When Doug come to court, he was just giving us a heads up or a warning of what might happen. Well, it happened that afternoon at 4 o'clock. Evidently, he knew more than he was telling us, and we wouldn't have got him pulled that quick. They evidently had already told him they was gonna come and get some. I don't think they would have prepared 4 or 5 hours after it was announced to us and then start coming and get them. They called me that evening and said, you know, they're coming and getting your state inmate. That's a short notice for me. I gotta scramble and try to find somebody else or hire somebody else. We haven't done it yet. By the grace of Jessamine County, they're sending us 2 right now, but they said that's not gonna last. They're gonna get back down to 1, which I understand that. But I want it to help Madison County's services that we've already got going, you know. And one of them is the ferry, and the other is the recycle. And if I can't get a benefit out of that, I'm not voting to hire a deputy. Simple fact.
I don't think we're gonna have to hire a deputy the way you talked, are we?
But I never understood that. When we approved for some more deputies, I mean, it had never had anything to do with the inmate work program.
The
I think
contract
y'all need it.
specifies that there has to be a deputy hired
Mhm.
specifically for that.
Cause you all needed the deputies over there without this program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 4, if I remember right.
There was 4.
Mhm.
That is correct. And they wasn't hired for that program. They were hired because of our overcrowding issue.
Right.
And you know, we were working.
You
in the
needed
same
some extra manpower.
It works out that if we have not as much going on, then yes, we can send somebody out with them. It may not be that deputy, it may be me. It may be Doug.
Well, that's what y'all
are
working on right now.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
This program just started, and we've been out for like 3-4 days, and we're still working our way through it. I think it's good. We've got a lot of good comments on how the roads look. all that with the trash pickup and all that. I think it's a very good program, needs to be done. But that's not, to answer your question, that's not what the deputies were hired for. In my,
Oh, I
what
understand,
what I understand it.
I understand the four that we hired wasn't designed to take the prisoners out, but my conversation with the jailer was, I can work one of them in, or one of my deputies in, because of the four we hired. And that's the only reason I say what I'm saying.
But for this state program or for his own program?
He didn't say, and I didn't ask him, because Judge, I haven't read that, but, he said he had a copy of it, but, you know, I don't know that we'll ever be able to sign it. But if we can, it's gonna be a benefit to us, because they're gonna pay us X number of dollars, they're gonna pay for their food, they reimburse us on the deputy. So, I mean, it's a win situation to me, but can we get enough people to go out to do that? I mean, they will reimburse us on the deputy, they will on the mileage, they will on fuel, and we've already got a vehicle. And, you know, the way I look at it, they pay for the meals. So the way I look at it, it's a win-win situation for us. But, you know, here's my opinion, just mine only. We could try it for 30 days and see how it works. If it don't work, we can cancel, and they can too.
Yeah, there's a 30-day out in the agreement. I mean, either party within 30 days can, with 30 days notice, can stop the program.
I'd like to see, Judge, a program start. We went about this for a year now, trying to get an inmate program started. However, at where we're at and at the point right now, I believe that we're stepping on the jailer's toes if we enact that contract when he's got a county program that's working and we don't know that we'll have enough men to staff that.
Well, one of the things that because I've been working with them on it, and then I found out that Doug had started his own program. And so I called Doug a couple Fridays ago and said, if we started the state program, would you continue your program, or would you just do the state program? And he said that he would probably continue his program and also do the state program. He said that, you know, his program might not go out every day. It might be that you go out when we can, or we go out when there's a real true need of doing something. And then this past Friday I talked to him, and there's a concern of having enough inmates. You know, to me, this program is run by the state. Brandon McIntosh oversees this program. He works with the deputy to assign what work's performed out, and where they're going, schedule, and all that. And this agreement is really between the State Transportation Cabinet, the Department of Corrections, and the county jail. Now, there's a signature spot on here for me as well. And there's a signature spot on there for Doug as the jailer as well. So this contract's really not with Madison County Fiscal Court, it's with Madison County Jail, the Department of Corrections, and the Transportation Cabinet. So Doug is definitely 100% got to be on this. So as far as feeling like you're stepping on his toes, he's got to be involved in this situation with the agreement. I mean, he was in the past. I'm sure he knows this agreement very well.
Well, what I'm saying is that he's went to a great extent. He's bought over $2,000 worth of equipment over there to get a county program going in-house. And now we're going to turn back around on that and say, well, we're just going to drop the county program that we've already got because we've got to send it. Just that part don't make sense.
But Tommy, the only difference there is, and I agree with you, I understand where you're coming from. Of course, I'm sure everything was bought out of the commissary. So it didn't cost the taxpayers nothing. You know,
Well,
weed eaters and stuff. It was paid for out of the commissary.
Yeah, but at the end of the year though, if we get paid back for medical in our revenue, the jail fund, and if commissary money is going to fund a lot of other things, and at the end of the day, it doesn't give us a lot of money.
Commissary, the only money can be spent is on the prisoners, correct? That's all it be spent on. I understand.
But medical is for the prisoners.
That's, I understand.
They pay most of their medical out of commissary. We don't pay hardly any medical anymore. But that's one reason we had 158,000 left over, was because they gave us a huge payment from commissary, and they probably gave us $140,000 out of commissary just to help pay for jail expenses. Plus, they reimbursed the employee that works the commissary that we pay payroll for. So commissary does give us.
It's about 170. Is 171,000 this year in the budget as revenue?
Look. It's just under reimbursement. $171,500. That's any type of reimbursement. The majority of that all comes from. That used to be where we put the state payments in too. So.
Well, Tom, again, I agree with what you said. I don't wanna see that part cut out, especially all the work that he's done, but, and I never would've dreamed with 300-some people, we only have 10 or 12 of us will go out. You know, we keep harping, you know, we got too many.
It's
But
a
if they're
crazy
not
number.
classified right, you can't send them out, and I understand that.
It's a crazy number, but most of those are pre-trial.
Well, I don't wanna affect anything that he's already done, but I don't wanna miss the chance of us getting a little money that they help pay for that deputy. That's the only thing I'm looking at.
Well, the way it is right now, we don't have to pay for a deputy, because the deputy's already on the payroll, so that's not costing us anything.
That's correct,
I
but we
would
could
prefer
get
to see-
reimbursed.
I would prefer to see our county program given a chance to work with any additional inmates that we may have, help us out down at solid waste that needs to, and the one that needs Roger, if we've got those people to send out down there.
Rich Taylor, if I may make one comment, obviously without inmate labor for our recycling program, which that's the way it was designed and modeled to have 2 inmates working on the back of the truck, we're gonna have to potentially look at hiring part-time people to fill those positions. Now, I enjoy going out and working on the back of the truck. It's good exercise and good for the mind and the soul. Judge Taylor joined me yesterday as well, working on the back of that truck, but obviously with the going forward with recycling, without the inmate labor on the back of the truck, we're gonna have to make a move at hiring potentially 2 people to work part-time to work the back of that truck, or revisit the future and the continuation of that program.
Well, let me ask another question. Is the jail willing to send folks to solid waste and to the,
Absolutely, if we have them, to see them.
Well, probably the question needs to be asked there, will that be priority? Will we send 2 there and 1 there, and then see if we got enough to go out?
That question I cannot answer. That would have to come directly, the question from Doug.
I understand.
I don't want to answer for him.
Because if that's not the case, like Roger said, may have to hire somebody. He may have to hire somebody, or we may have to discontinue the program. So, I guess, Judge, you'll have to talk to the jailer about it and see, you know, but I would make that a top priority, you know, 2 for him, 1 for him, and then if there's any left, I want to see the roads picked up. And I appreciate y'all doing it, I appreciate Doug getting involved in it and sending the crew out. But I also want to make sure we have that covered and this covered and go from there. That's hard to believe. We have 300-some people over there and only 9, maybe 10 or 11 maybe qualified to go out and pick up trash. You know, I have people.
But that's the thing. We only need 12 to cover everything. And if we got that many already, I don't know why we're not doing it.
We don't right now. I mean, we have our trustees out there. We have 5 people that can actually go outside to work.
Okay. I thought you said a minute ago you had 9 child
Without-
supporters.
We do. I got 9 child supporters working inside the jail, which we have to make sure laundry gets done, food gets made, all
Okay.
that. I've got 9 child supporters working inside the jail, and I've got some that are pretrial working inside the
Yeah.
jail. The pretrial people are not eligible to work outside. They have charge.
I'm sorry, and the vast majority of your inmates are actually pretrial, so they're automatically taken out of the equation.
That is correct.
And so you've got people actually serving sentences. You've got state child support and then the county inmates, but as we've discussed before, there are very few misdemeanor sentences that are over there right now.
That is correct.
I would assume when you call and tell the state to come and get prisoners, they're gonna try to pick the ones that they know can work.
Oh, that's what they're gonna get, regardless of whether we call them or not. At some point, they will tell us, hey, we're coming to get these, you're all 200% over. I think the state requirement is that you stay below 125%. Well, of course, they're overcrowded right now too, so we're at 200% or so right now. So when they get a request from another county, and I need workers, they're gonna come to us and say, you all are 200% over, I need all your level ones, we're sending them here.
And that's
And
the
they
thing.
belong to them, we can't do anything about that.
And that's the thing I don't understand either, because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help the overcrowding part of our jail, because those inmates stay in a different section that you can't put others in.
No, that's if they're out working, yes, you're correct. If they're out working, you're correct. If they're not working, then they're in the regular.
Right? Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but they took the ones that were working.
Yes, they took the ones.
And
out.
they're the ones that are over in this section of the jail, and it doesn't free up any space for you in other places if they only take
No,
those.
that is correct.
Yeah.
It did not.
So there's a law says that you can't use them to do what you're talking about inside if they're classified as a certain class, correct?
Now, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Well, what I'm saying is you said you had, what, 10 or 12 that inside,
9.
or 9 inside, okay, but, and they could go out, but you need them inside. But you can't use the other classification inside? I
You
mean,
don't
they're in
let-
jail,
yeah.
what difference it makes?
Well, this is the thinking behind that. You have to understand that the trustees have a little more freedom inside the jail than the others. They have, there are doors that open to the outside and stuff out there. Do you want people that are looking at 15, 20 years for drug charges working back there? At what point are you sure they're not going to run out the back door?
But they're more secure in there than they are about the guy that's working at the ferry or.
Yeah,
solid
but
waste.
we're talking about the pretrial people that haven't been sentenced yet is what I'm talking about.
Well, it's very complicated, and I understand. You know, I do want to see the program that you all started continue, and I definitely want to see Scott get some help and Roger at the ferry. But I'd still like to see us get a little money out of it, you know, paying that. And the deputies are, I'm gonna agree, the deputy's already there, but if the state will reimburse you X number of dollars for a deputy, that's just money you save.
And the other thing too is, I mean, you got to look at it as productive too. I mean, I bet y'all not probably getting to pull 8 hours. I mean,
No,
you're,
we are not.
you're going out and maybe picking
Well,
up.
it's pretty close to 8, 7, right around 7, I think is what they're pulling
Yeah.
with the trash pickup and all that.
Okay.
It varies from day to day, what time we can go out, what our courts look like, what, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
But there could be consistency. There might not be consistency with that program.
we may go,
Because
we may not.
you might be slammed over there. You might be covered up. You can't.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all for the state program and funding the state program. We've said that long ago. But if we're going to do that, what was the point? What was the point of the program at the jail? If we got to this point, then what was the purpose of it? That's all been a 3-week drill for nothing. If we're going to barely have enough inmates to fund to man the state program, then the county program's going to go away.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me right now, with what I'm hearing, I mean, I don't. It doesn't look like we can do a state program because there's not enough guarantee on a consistent basis to have enough inmates to do the state program. I mean, unless it's something changes and so, I mean, I agree
I would
with you.
prefer to ride the course that we're at right now and give the jail the opportunity
Yeah.
to make their program successful. If they're already working it and already have procedures established, everybody's familiar with it, and still do the same with being able to give Scott people when he needs them, if you can, and Roger about if you can.
But the only problem with that is that with the recycle, and maybe Roger's a little bit more flexible, but there's no flexibility in the recycle. I mean, it's every other week, and it's Monday through Friday,
It's
and
on account.
and it's, yeah, I mean, you gotta have some type of guarantee. And so, what we either gotta know we got inmates. Now, if it's one day, you know, if it's one day every quarter or something, you know, we can work around that. But
I'd be happy with them just every other week if we could get something like
Well,
How often do you do recycle?
that. Every other week, 26 weeks a year,
For how many hours?
right at 40. Make that 47 in Master Clock, and there's an added extra time in there.
So you're looking at a little over $12,000 if we have to hire 2 part-time workers.
That's correct.
per worker,
Or 12,000 per. If he needs a body, if he needs 47 hours for 27 weeks, at $10 an hour, you're looking at $12,000.
so that's 24,000 because you gotta have two. Yeah.
Round to 25.
And then that's finding, somebody that can work part-time every other week, you know, because it's not like it's second shift, you know, somebody wanting to work 4 hours in the afternoon to make extra money, you know. That's gonna be the hard part, is finding a part-time person that can work every other week. You know, so. Any more questions for Greg?
appreciate you explaining it to us.
Thank you.
Deputy Johnson, thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate it. Next is first reading of ordinance 1709. This is detention center fees. Whereas Madison County, Kentucky has previously adopted ordinance number
I did not have that ordinance when I drafted it.
0032. I got you back.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Pertaining to the Madison County Detention Center fee schedule, and whereas the ordinance establishes various fees relative to the housing and providing the detention center's detainees, and whereas it has become necessary to amend the amounts of those fees, now therefore be it ordained by the fiscal court of the County of Madison, Commonwealth of Kentucky, as follows. So here's our fee schedule. This is what we had discussed in our previous meeting. The booking fee would be $50. Per diem fee would be $2. Jail bond fee would be $5. Sick call to nurse would be $15. Sick call to a doctor is $35. Sick call to emergency is $25. X-ray $75. Medication is $4. RX handling is $4. Psych nurse is $35. Weekender is $20 a day. Work release is $20 a day. What's that mean, Mark?
Right.
Work release?
That's when somebody's out actually at a public job working, there's a cost associated with
Okay.
that.
Working at their regular job.
I got you.
So that's not the work release that we just spoke about, but that's somebody that has a factory job and they're
Right, yeah.
releasing to go and
Yeah,
come back.
like, yeah, they might get picked up at 7 in the morning, have to be back by 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then all other remaining provisions of ordinance 0032 continue in full force and effect. So if I could have a motion and a second on ordinance 1709, detention center fees.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any more discussion? If not, call the roll.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Watkins?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, guys, is golf course fee agreements. Gary, do you want to come up?
Morning. I've got 3 agreements. The first 2 are really practices we've done in the past, but we didn't have it in writing, and we prefer to have it that way. The first one is the school membership agreement, where for schools in Madison County, how we charge them, whether it's a high school team or a college team, and it outlines the length of their season and what they're allowed to do at the school. It's a more formalized process, so we can have a list of the players and a written agreement. The fees really haven't changed on it. For high schools, we charge them $1,800 per season. That would cover the boys and the girls team. And one reason why we want all of their names, they're considered members, so outside of practices, they can come out and play. And if normally they will walk, but if they do take a cart, we want to make sure that they're 16 and over, have a driver's license. So this first agreement just outlines all of that, and we had to be specific on the season for the high school students, so it follows SAA rules. They really can't start before July 15th. And that way we have everything in writing from the schools. As I said, the fees haven't changed from in the past. Any
It's just a
questions
more
on that?
formal way to do it.
Formal
Yep,
way to do
yep.
it, yes.
Everybody's on the same page then. Yep.
That way we don't have to guess who's on the team or
Right.
not.
Mhm.
We have all that information. And then we do bill the schools accordingly from a written agreement.
Right.
Have you had a lot of interest from schools?
Oh, we have, Berea College has always used our course as their home course, and so has Madison Southern.
And some others have in the past. I mean, Madison Central,
Mhm.
girls did for several years. I think Model
Model did for a while.
and so we've had a lot of participation from the high schools
Yes,
and
yeah.
Berea College, obviously. But I don't think there was ever anything really formal, and everybody was sort of treated
No,
the same, and
yeah.
and so that's why we wanted these agreements. So
It also
There's no
helps us too
questions.
to formalize when they're going to have a practice. Sometimes they'll have a meet at the course, so we just want everything formalized so we can work
Yep.
easier with them.
Yep.
You on the motion, Judge?
I don't think we need one. This is just letting the courts know.
Okay.
Yep.
The second one, I also came up with an agreement for outings at the golf course. Once again, in the past, it was just a verbal thing, here's how much we'll charge you. And we really need to gather more information about a tournament before it happens. Things like how many players, if they want any extra services. If we have large outings of over 100 players, we may have to rent extra carts. So I just wanted a formal agreement once again to make sure everything was understood by the people organizing things. For example, this weekend we had an outing Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. So a little hectic, but it's great for the golf course. And instead of me having to call up ahead of time to find out what the outing requires, I wanted a formal process to have everything.
And then when
in
you
writing.
say outing, these would be tournaments, these would be scrambles, these
Yes.
would be any
Mhm.
kind of event that
Right.
brings any type
Yes.
number of players.
Mhm. Typically anywhere from 30 to 100 or more players.
Yep. Yep.
Generates revenue, but it also exposes more people to the course.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
get
yes, it
kind of
does.
collateral benefit to that too, because people
Mhm.
have really been pleased lately how the course is.
Yes, and I know in the past, Battlefield has kind of been referred to as cattle field, but we are receiving more compliments on the course now, even from out-of-state players.
Yeah.
They've even said they prefer to play there than anywhere else in central Kentucky,
Yeah,
so
that's good.
that's very good.
These agreements are good, so we appreciate you taking the time to go over that.
Yes, the only change in the golf outing agreement, I upped the rate per player by $1, because in the past, we were charging each tournament a $200 fee that they had to use to buy merchandise from the course. We've dropped that requirement. That way the outing has $200 more to go towards your charity or whatever they're having the outing for. So we're charging an extra $1. That just covers creation of scorecards, card signs, anything we have to produce for the tournament. The final agreement since the transition, we don't have a professional at the course, and we've had people asking us if they could get lessons at the course. Fortunately, we have someone on staff, Jordan Freeman, who's certified by the United States Golf Teachers Association. I believe he got certified last summer for that. So so I put together an agreement where he would be charged a range usage fee, one-time charge per year, and then after that, every time he gives a lesson, he would pay a $5 fee to us. And part of the agreement too is it has to be done off hours. He cannot be on the clock when he does that. That way we provide a service to people who want that, plus we pick up a few dollars for each one, and so does he.
I've seen that agreement that we saw, but that's not in our Dropbox. It's not in mine.
No, it's not like
It's not.
No.
But we did get a chance to look at it.
Okay. Yeah, we, when I went over with Mark last week, he gave some great recommendations to this agreement, and I got with Gary, and we changed it around.
Work through those, okay.
Yeah, and so,
Were you
you
okay
know,
with those?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Fine.
so now, basically, Mark, we're just charging just that, a plain fee to him
And he's kind of.
when he gives a lesson, you know, take out the handling the money and all that stuff.
Make it a little easier for you all people, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, did y'all get a copy of that? I mean, it requires a motion, so if anybody needs a copy of this agreement,
I'd like to have a copy of it, but I don't have one.
there you go. I've read it, so. All right, any questions for Gary? Thanks, Gary,
All right, thank you.
appreciate you being here. Good job.
Judge, you're gonna need a motion for the fee change. A motion.
Fee change.
There's a fee change?
A dollar, the increase of $1. On the same agreement.
Cut it $1, I think it's good.
Oh, I
For tournaments,
Oh,
for
yeah.
tournaments.
You added $1, didn't you?
Yes.
For the outings.
Okay.
For the outings.
I move we approve it.
What's the motion?
Second.
So the motion would be to change, we're adding, was it $25? It's gonna be 26?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then while you're doing this, then if the motion is required, and I really didn't think it was, but if it is, do you also need to authorize the elimination of the $200 outing fee? Because that would also impact revenues.
Right. You see, that was never in writing before.
I think that was just a practice. It was never listed out as a fee. It was.
Just an expectation.
So 200. So somebody start talking here. I'm confused.
In the past, $200 was, whoever was having the tournament, they had to spend $200 in the pro shop on merchandise and stuff.
It
And
was
we're not
not
gonna.
a fee per se.
Yeah, but we're not, that was a practice. That wasn't a fee that they had to pay. They were just told that when they were signed up for a tournament.
And so we no longer require
We're no
that.
longer
No.
gonna do that.
Okay. And so basically all the fees that we're going from $25 per player to $26
Yes.
per player.
So all you have to
So I
add
need a
is
motion. I need a motion to go from $25 per player in a golf outing to $26 per player.
And in a year's time, if you have 200, you already got your 200 back anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
that's 200 per.
That's 200
Yeah.
per.
But I think most people are still gonna spend money at the pro shop because they're gonna get prizes and they're
Yes,
typically
they
gonna get
do.
gift certificates. So most folks will probably continue that
Are you
practice
straight
anyway.
on that, Keith?
Right, yes.
So I have a motion.
Yeah, he's straight on.
Do I have a second?
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes. All right, next is personnel, environmental, animal control. Scott?
There's a kid in here a while ago that looked just like you.
I know I can claim it. Good morning, everyone. I would like to make the recommendation
that we hire Justin Eads, and Justin is here right now. He's going to fill in
Stand up,
and
Justin.
be a
Say hi,
part-time CDLB trainee position that was already slotted in the solid waste budget for a part-time position. He comes in at $10 an hour, meets our classification schedule. We will train him as a CDLB driver and use him as a laborer, as well as he's good to go for driving the loaner trucks to learn how to drive larger trucks, and then as well can help out with large item pickup, the back of the recycling truck in the meantime, as well as trained to become a CDLB driver. So,
Multitasking.
that's right,
I move we employ him.
part-time.
I move we employ him. Welcome aboard.
I have a motion.
Get the votes.
I have a motion and a second. No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bucking?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Just Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Just appreciate you being here, Scott. Scott. Next. Chief, good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Want to approach the fiscal court for a promotion. Be Brandon French from the position of lieutenant to the position of captain, starting 7/27 at the rate of $12 an hour.
Everybody know Brandon.
Brandon's here today.
Brandon's been with the county 11,
10.5 years.
10 and a half.
Need a motion?
I do.
So move.
Second.
If there's no discussion, call the roll.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Bucking?
Yes.
Just Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, guys. Brandon, thanks. Appreciate your service. Next is Personnel Road Department. Scott? Scott and Scott.
We have two promotions this morning. One was Isaiah Webb. He was the gentleman we hired back around 11 months ago as a CDLB driver. He has successfully completed all of his training, has passed all of his exams, and last week was awarded his CDL Class B license.
Good.
So we're just moving him from general labor to truck driver, and he was making $10 an hour part-time. He'll go to 13 full-time.
That's good. Did that work out good, Scott?
It was a little challenging for me to have the patience. He had a couple of faults on his test and didn't do so well on them, but we stuck with it, and
Good.
he did. I think he learned a lot just through the process.
Yeah.
So
Well, that shows you he wanted the job.
he did, and
Because he
hopefully
could have just said, I can't do it.
right. Hopefully, somebody that committed will stay with us and keep going. So I think the trainee program is a good thing.
Good.
Make a motion that we promote Isaiah Webb.
Second?
No discussion, call the roll.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Bucking?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Just Taylor?
Yes.
Second promotion I'm asking for is for Marvin Powell. He is currently a masonry assistant. We're wanting to move him to a heavy equipment operator. We currently lost a heavy equipment operator to the state road department. Actually, we lost two. But Marvin has been with us for a few years and has proven himself as a heavy equipment operator. His current pay is $14.50 an hour, and his classification would move him to $16 per hour per the classification scale. And that is promoting within and not trying to hire somebody off the street we don't know anything about.
Move we promote Marvin Powell to heavy equipment operator, $16 an hour.
Second.
No discussion, call the roll.
Mr. Bucking?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Just Taylor?
Yes. And I will make a comment. I like the fact that our classification schedule is working. I mean, that, to me, that proves that stair step is there for people to promote and to better themselves. So, do you have something else, Scott?
I do. I have one more. I have a new hire to replace one of the two we lost. And if Mr. Mitchell will stand up, this is Mr. Tim Mitchell. I think he's a wonderful find. He is now a Madison County resident. Greg from over in Baileyville area, if anybody knows where that's at. He is a Class A CDL hazardous material driver licensed. We're wanting to bring him on as a truck driver general labor. He'll start at $13 an hour, and his start date will be the second day of next month.
How much was the pay?
13. And that's just starting out classifications.
I move we employ Ben Rice.
No, it's not Ben. What was his name?
Tim Mitchell.
Tim Mitchell.
Well, I need to move on down, don't I?
That's the next one.
We'll take him too, Larry, if you make a motion.
Gonna hire him for another job.
Oh,
So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second. Second.
No more, no discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Michael? You got some CSEP employees, EMA maybe?
Yes, I do. We would like to recommend 2 promotions. We'll go one at a time if you want us to.
Sure.
We'd like to recommend that we promote Jason Wade. He is currently an EOC tech. We'd like to promote him to be EOC operations lead. We've done interviews. He's qualified. They've been with us for about 1.5 years now. And we would like to move his salary up to $39,000 a year.
So he'll be second shift, is that correct?
Yes.
So have we started 24/7?
Not yet.
But this is in preparation to.
Second shift, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I would like to recommend a start date of August 9 for those.
Good, Judge. I move with we go ahead and hire Jason Wade's EOC tech at salary of $39,000.
It'd be operations lead 1.
I'm sorry, operations lead 1 tech from an EOC.
That's
tech.
right.
I apologize.
So I got a motion. Do I have a second? No discussion. Call the roll.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
And the second recommendation would be for Ben Rice. He is an EOC tech currently, and part of the reclassification, we'd like to make him a Commo Officer 1. And like I say, he's been with us about 1.5 years. We've done the interviews. He's qualified for the position, and his starting salary now will be $36,000, and again, August 9th for that start date.
And it goes from 32/7 basically to 36.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
He been with you 1.5 years?
About 1.5 years, yes.
He must be a pretty good employer, he wouldn't still be there.
Oh, we haven't run him off yet.
So move.
Second.
No discussion. Call the roll.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Michael. Next, ask of course permission. I need a motion second to go into executive session over a potential litigation.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Billy, you must be present to win, right? Movie Weekend at Bernie's. Report with Willie.
Kenny,
Turn this off.
Larry made a motion. Tom seconded.
Yep.
Come out. So we had a motion and a second to come out of executive session at this time. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. At this time, there's no action taken on the litigation. So next is the judge's report. Madison County Fair runs from July 27th, which is in just 2 days.
My wife's birthday, by the way, so
Is it?
happy birthday, Lisa. I'm sure
Yeah.
she's watching.
You'll have to take her. Hey, you'll have to take her to the fair for her dinner.
She's watching this, the Food Network probably.
Yeah.
But, happy birthday.
But the fair runs from July 27th through August 5th. Man, there's all kinds of different events out there. A lot of people. It is a great fair. The fair board does a great job. We got a new building out there this year, I think, named after one of our own.
I was going to ask what was going on at Willis Hall.
Willie
the
World.
first night.
He said Willie World. That's funny. But again, it is July 27th through August 5th at the Madison County Fairgrounds out off Irvin Road. The downtown Richmond Farmers Market Tomato Festival will be Saturday, August the 5th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's right here on First Street, right here next to the courthouse. U.S. Representative Andy Barr will be the guest speaker of the Richmond Chamber of Commerce monthly luncheon at 12 noon on Thursday, August the 3rd, and that'll be at the EKU Center for Performing Arts. They're off the Richmond bypass, EKU bypass. There will be a food preservation workshop on Thursday, August 10th from 9 until 11:30 at the Madison County Extension Office. If you need any kind of information on that or you need to register, call 623-4072. Local first day of school, model laboratory schools. They start Thursday, August 10th. Berea Community School starts Tuesday, August 16th. Madison County School starts Tuesday, August 16th. EKU starts Monday, August 12th. And Berea College, Wednesday, August 23rd. Is that EKU August 12th?
That'd be 21st.
21st. Yeah,
I don't know who typed that.
Yeah.
We'll get on. It's 21st.
I appreciate whoever did type it though.
Yeah,
All right, they tried.
It's
Yeah.
the 21st.
2017 Pops in the Park, a great event. So anybody that's interested in coming, it is a fun event, man. It's a great community event. 2017 Pops at the Park will be Saturday, August the 26th at Whitehall State Historical Site. This year's theme is Taking It Easy, Eagles Live. That's back in your day, Mark.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Huh? Tickets are available through Richmond Chamber of Commerce, so anybody interested in coming to that, it is a wonderful event. And it's a family-friendly event, too. It's great for the kids. Kids have a big time. And always remember to check us out on our website for any kind of job postings, anything going on in the county. We are currently hiring CDL drivers, animal control officers, and applications are being accepted for fall interns. So anybody that's interested or have any family friends that are interested in being an intern, we love our interns. So comments from department heads. It looks like Philip, you have something?
As always, yes, Philip here in Salt. Here we go again. Parks are going great. If you're needing a place for a reunion or a birthday party, call early. We're booked pretty well up into the end of September into October. Judge mentioned the Pops at the Park event, and want to remind everyone, you'll get more notice on this, that Whitehall Park on the day of that event, which is Saturday, August 26th, will close at 2 o'clock in order to put the fireworks display together for that event. It'll reopen on Sunday, the 27th of August at 8 a.m. Lake Wheel Green and the boat ramps are going well. We just do as you clean up after yourself, and you don't want loud music playing in the middle of the night, and just be decent human beings. There's a way to handle that. I had a really interesting comment out at the visitor center yesterday. We get a lot of comments about what we do, and we're doing great and everything. Had a lady come in from Salem, Indiana, that talked about how clean the facility was. And I just wanted to put a thanks out to Donna and her crew for coming out and taking care of us, and people notice things like that. On Sunday, August the 6th at 2:30, we will be unveiling and dedicating a new battlefield interpretive marker at St. Mark's Roman Catholic Church, which is will highlight the Sisters of Charity that came to Richmond after the Battle of Richmond to serve the wounded. They brought 40 wagon loads of medical supplies. They came here a few days later, and we're basically out of the Massive Female Institute where Madison Middle School is now. We've got school starting. You're going to see those big yellow buses out and about, and we had these young people here today, and we just need to be real careful and watch for those. And in closing, you'll have Dr. Phil may come the next time and talk about how to properly view the solar eclipse that's coming up there toward the end of August. Don't look at it. So we'll show you how to do it real easy. So if you have any questions, we're pretty much out of the office all the time, 624-0013.
Thanks, Phil. Any other department heads need to address the court today? Comments from magistrates? Rod?
Have got these big issues. Usually think the workers themselves. We'll give a shout out to all the department heads, and as well as the judge and Colleen and Princette and Kenny and all of them. A lot goes on behind the scenes that the public actually don't know about that shows up maybe a year down the road. These people are working on things that's taking care of the future, and I appreciate what they do. Us coming in and out of the courthouse all the time, we really don't know what work they do, but y'all do a great job, all of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Tom?
Judge, I want to start off and just ask Major Terry to take back to the Sheriff's Department. I want to commend you guys for your audit, successful audit there for the 2015 taxes. So that's good work. We appreciate you guys aware and ask you just to keep things rolling along there. I met this past Saturday with a homeowners association out at Clay Point, and the reason I want to just talk about that just for a second, Judge, is simply because their concerns that they expressed to me is the same things, not just in their neighborhood, but it's happening in every neighborhood. And their concern for the day was the vacant lots. There's vacant lots in their subdivisions that are being used to put dirt on, and in some cases in other places they're actually being used to dump trash. And so at any rate, my whole point of this is just merely that if you own property out in the county, you have the responsibility to maintain that property. And if it's in a subdivision, you have the responsibility to maintain it to the homeowner's restrictions. That's for those neighborhoods. It's different for each one, but yet, you got to mow the grass and you got to keep stuff picked up and maintain that. That's a big problem. And in the case where that doesn't happen, then the recourse for those homeowner associations go through planning and zoning and file a complaint, and then it runs a process. So I just ask the people that own those properties just to be responsible and just bear in mind that you're a good neighbor, even though you don't live there, you own that property. They expect you to keep those properties up. I was out at Kingston yesterday. The bridge looks like they're getting pretty close to blacktopping out there and getting things opened up. I know folks will be glad to see that done, hopefully before school starts. The roadside cleanup, just want to say that in the 4th District anyway, our roads have been looking really good. So I know we had Greg here earlier, and I should have patted him on the back while he's here. Here's your pat, Greg. But they are doing good. They are picking up trash. Folks are glad to see them out, and we just ask them to just continue that. And it's a good program. You can call the jail, or they have a Facebook page that you can contact with if your area needs some additional trash pickup, and they'll get it on their schedule. I guess the last thing I had, Judge, was down at Will Green. Philip talked about it, and George Powell still runs tournaments down there on Wednesday and on Sunday. And if you're interested in fishing down there in one of those tournaments, you can contact him. But what I really wanted to say about that is George and the sportsmen that go down there and fish those tournaments, they are really, really good about not just policing after themselves, but they go out of their way to pick up trash in the parking lots and try to make sure that facility is taken care of, along with Scott. I know he works with George and them and helps them out down there, and we certainly appreciate that. The other thing that I would ask is that when those tournaments are going on, there will still be other people down there fishing, but I ask you just to remember that George is the tournament director down there, and during those tournaments, he's responsible for getting those boats and trucks and equipment in and out of there. You take 30 boats and trucks down at the Will Green parking lot. That's a pretty heavy load down there, and I just ask you just to kind of work with him and try to park so that you're not blocking up the traffic down there, and just give them guys a little respect. They'll do the same for you. So we appreciate it. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Tom. Larry?
Well, like Philip said, let's talk about the parks and everything being clean. I want to give a shout out to the courthouse crew. Donna, they do a great job. I was commenting to Roger there a few minutes ago how clean the courthouse was. And I know they don't, they don't get a thank you very often, but I want to give them one, and I think they do a great job, and particularly death for the staff there.
Yeah.
So it really does look good. Other than that, I'm just glad to be here.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Yeah, guys, one of the things, I'll make one final comment. I am proud, especially when those numbers came out today in the financial report. I think having those surpluses is a testament to, what we're doing, Glenna. And all the department heads and everybody's really, I think, got buy-in with what we're doing, and I think it shows. And I am very, very proud of us all. All right. Comments from the audience. Anybody in the audience? It's always good to see you, buddy. Yeah, glad you're here. If no comments from the audience, let's hear a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So moved.
Second.
No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next court date is Tuesday, August the 8th, 2017. That will be right back here where we're at right now in Richmond. Again, that's Tuesday, August the 8th at 9:30 in the morning here in Richmond. I need a motion second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr.
Call
Barger?
roll, please.
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Yes, sir.